you guys read the title right. I got COVID, contracted COVID-19, and today I'll be telling you guys what happened to me for the last few days and how it happened and how I found out about it. And all I gotta say is that it really, really sucks. Alright, so hi to all of you guys. So first thing is, you guys notice that there seems to be nothing wrong with me. I'm not like coughing or having any issues or whatsoever, right? Because I guess I'm asymptomatic. So what happened was basically 3 days ago, alright, today is actually the 8th of April at 11:42 a.m. Alright, right now. But 3 days ago on the 5th of April, I actually went to do my pre-departure PCR test. Why I needed to do that is because of this. Alright, so I had a flight to catch from Singapore to Cebu City to the Philippines to actually visit my girlfriend. I intended to travel there on the 7th of April in the morning, so hence I decided to do my test on the 5th of April, 3 p.m. in the afternoon, which will be within 48 hours because it's required to actually travel to the Philippines to get a PCR test done 48 hours before the flight. So, yep, that was my flight details. Man, you guys can see, yep, I was supposed to leave Singapore at 10:15 a.m. technically yesterday on the 7th of April. However, I'm still here in Singapore because I can't fly. So, eventually, just a few hours later, the PCR test, the results came back to me. And that was on the 6th of April in the morning. Alright, so when I woke up at 10:30 a.m., the first thing that I saw were like a bunch of SMSs from the Ministry of Health, MOH of Singapore. And yep, when I read the first line, you know what I mean, the second line is like, Dear Tan Keng Lee Brandon, that's my full name, alright, with my details over there, which I'm gonna just remove some of the personal information and whatsoever, and also some of the links to the website. You have tested positive for COVID-19. Okay, why didn't I even know about that? Which kind of sucks. Please complete this mandatory form upon receiving this notification on this website, alright, and isolate yourself at your registered address. Individuals are automatically placed on the home recovery program. Individuals not eligible for home recovery program will be contacted by Ministry of Health for transfer to a hospital or a COVID-19 facility. To find out which arrangement may apply to you, visit the website. Alright, so I just want to point one thing out though. Singapore is heading towards the living with COVID strategy, not going with the zero COVID strategy that China is intending to do or other countries are intending to do, because that's clearly not feasible. So I'm just one out of the many who have actually contracted the virus. I mean, I know of people who have contracted the virus, including my brother and a few of my friends, not overseas, but even in Singapore. And even my girlfriend's family members, all of them have contracted COVID before. So I was not surprised that I actually contracted COVID. In fact, I was surprised that I actually contracted COVID this late, to be honest with you guys. So if you check out the numbers for Singapore right now, they were updated like on the 8th of April. In the morning, it shows that we had a total case of 1,128,155 cases here in Singapore. We have a total of 1,290 deaths. Yep, and 1,050,649 recovered. So if we check out this particular chart, though, we can see that the active cases right now is at 76,216. So I've contributed to the number by one, which isn't good. Alright. So for me, every time I go out to play Pokemon Go, I would have to, like comply with the rules and whatsoever. But maybe I did not even contract it during that period that I took off the mask. I started taking off the mask after the rules were relaxed after the 29th of March. So I might have even contracted the virus way before. Alright. So let's see this though. Updated on the April the 5th, we can see that there are a total of 6,341 new cases. Then on the 6th of April, which I guess was the date that is confirmed that I actually got the new cases, is at 4,467. And then right now, a day before, which was yesterday, 7th of April, we have 4,269 cases. Today's cases has not been updated yet because usually they update later in the evening. So that being said, alright, back to my story in terms of my traveling issue. So this SMS that I received was sent to me at 8:20 a.m. Eventually, a few minutes later, I got another SMS. 13 minutes later, I received another SMS. But I was still sleeping, so I only woke up at 10:30. So I received like a whole bunch of SMS response, basically 3 SMSs together. So dear, and my NRIC number over there, my personal details. Your COVID test is positive. Okay, I do not know whether the tone should be that, but yeah. Please self-isolate immediately for at least 72 hours, alright? Further instructions will be given to you. Trace Together app users, please upload your data with PIN, So I kind of review to you guys all those details and the Trace Together token. Trace Together is an app here in Singapore that we use to do contact tracing, which you have to scan whenever you enter a mall or any eateries or whatsoever. And if you get in close contact with people who are also having their Bluetooth on their phone, that's when they will deem that person who have been with you for a certain amount of time, I think it's 15 minutes or longer, to be a close contact also during the period where they suspect that you have contracted the virus also. So it continues to say, if you have been issued a stay-home notice and testing notice or a testing notice under Section 445A IDA, all such notice order are hereby revoked with immediate effect. Alright, visit the website for more information. Thank you, for Director of Medical Services. Alright, so the next SMS is the one that's really, really key. So it was sent to me at 10:04 a.m. and like I said, I woke up at 10:30 a.m. only to read all 3 messages at the same time. If you have not responded to the forms below, sent in our earlier messages, please do so within the next 2 hours. Dear, my full name over there and my details over there. You have tested positive for COVID-19. Please complete this mandatory, basically the same thing. Alright. And then eventually, I woke up, I actually saw all this, I went to fill up all the necessary form and whatsoever, and I completed it. Alright, it said thank you for the submission, and Alright, and they say your form is being processed. A health risk assessment will be made based on the last day of exposure to the COVID case indicated in the form. Based on the assessment, your close contacts may be placed on a health risk notice within the next 48 hours. A representative from MOH, Ministry of Health, may also contact you within the next 48 hours. So immediately I sent all this information to my friends who have been with me for the last few days, especially the last 1 week, and I told them to do all their tests, also their ART tests, and they did. All of them came back negative, alright? And Chris and the rest who have met me for the last few days, I told them to just immediately do your test, because I just sent them the details that I have actually contracted COVID, and they did the test. So next thing was to actually cancel all my accommodation and my flights to Cebu, to Philippines. So I actually managed to get my accommodation refund, totally refunded, which is really, really good. Alright, a total of $462.27 from Agoda. I managed to cancel everything because I have free cancellation up to the 6th of April, 11:59 p.m. and I cancelled the accommodation at roughly 11 a.m. on the 6th of April, which was good enough to actually get the free cancellation all done. So that's 7 days of accommodation all cancelled altogether, but that's thankfully possible to do. So eventually I went to check my email also, and I received an email from Amira saying that, Dear Tan Keng Lee Brandon, your PCR test results came back as positive, thus your travel certificate was not generated. Yep. Attached is your lab results. Do consult the embassy of the country you are traveling to if you're allowed to enter. Clearly not, because I've already checked that to enter the Philippines, you have to produce a negative PCR test 48 hours before your flight. So no, I can't fly. As you have declared that you are not a recently recovered COVID-19 patient, clearly I wasn't. Ministry of Health will contact you as well in regards to the next steps you need to take. If you have not heard from Ministry of Health yet, please fill up the form. I wish I've already did, alright, before reading this email. Ministry of Health will contact them within a few hours and advise accordingly. Alternatively, you may contact Ministry of Health at blah 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 blah. So I did. I immediately called Ministry of Health and I asked them the protocol and whatsoever, what should I do. So they told me that within the next 42 hours, yes, I was supposed to stay at home. Alright, and I'm not supposed to leave home at all. Food wise, I'm settled because I have food that I can cook at home, and also I can still order delivery, and I would actually ask the delivery guy to actually leave the food out there. And I actually did that 2 days ago for the first time ever, living here for over a year already, my first time ever calling the food delivery to actually deliver food to my house. I normally would prefer going out to eat outside or look for food by myself or even buy food back on my own. I want to walk a bit instead of just staying at home and not walking around. It is better to actually go out there and look for food instead of calling food delivery. And also, I always feel that it's bad for the environment because most of the food deliveries, they'll actually use like disposable like cutleries and in fact containers, etc., which I do not appreciate. So hence I'll prefer going out there to actually look for food instead of actually order food delivery. Yep, so 2 days ago was the first time that I ever ordered. And eventually, yesterday I also ordered because I can't leave my home. But I only ordered once per day, and I cooked for the other meals also. Alright, so anyway, that's that for food. But this is basically the PDF file that I actually get. And it's from Raffles Hospital, the hospital near my home, just 2 minutes walk. And the results are here, man. You can see it shows that COVID-19 RT-PCR, it shows it's detected. I guess the COVID, I don't strain or whatsoever. I don't even know how to read all those, but maybe my girlfriend who is a nurse knows how to read this. Or maybe whoever that's a doctor also can read all this and understand all this. But of course, I'm censoring away all my personal details, such as my travel details and even, in fact, the other stuff. But anyway, this is another SMS that eventually I received again from Ministry of Health, like at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, stating, "Dear Tan Keng Lee Brandon," with my NRIC over there, "you have tested positive for COVID-19. For the fourth or fifth time, you have informed me already. Yes, I got it already. You should self-isolate immediately for at least 72 hours. I hear you. Therefore, you may exit self-isolation." Okay, so this is the part that was really, really key to me. Alright, how am I able to exit self-isolation? So first of all, we have to isolate for at least 72 hours. So beyond 72 hours, then I can actually exit the self-isolation. That's the first thing to note. If you test negative on ART self-administered, alright, basically the antigen rapid test, not needing to go to the hospital or anywhere to do it, you can actually be you can exit the self isolation, but that's only after 72 hours. All right, so B is on day 7. All right, if fully vaccinated or below 12 years old. I'm fully vaccinated. I've gotten 2 vaccinations from Pfizer and the booster from Pfizer, so I'm fully vaccinated, and I got that like months ago already. In fact, before I traveled to Philippines in the month of February. All right, so to continue that, it says or day 14 if unvaccinated or partially vaccinated and age 12 or and above. So that does not apply to me. Without a need to test whichever is earlier. Alright, so if by day 7 I'm still tested positive according to the ART test, I would still have to isolate until day 7 and then I can actually leave my home. So that's the protocol here in Singapore. Alright, every country functions differently, but this is how it's like. So days are counted starting on the day you first tested positive as day 1. So I actually called up Ministry of Health and I asked them, like, try to be clear with everything. So I told them I did my test on the 5th of April at 3 p.m. but I received my results at 8:20 a.m. on the 6th of April. Does that mean I'm tested positive on the 5th of April or 6th of April morning? They told me say it's actually 8:20 a.m. upon receiving the SMS on the 6th of April. So I understood that totally. So essentially, if we add 72 hours to that, essentially tomorrow morning, which will be 9th of April, in the morning at around 8:30 a.m., I am subjected to the 72 hours, which then I can do my ART test. Alright, so to continue with that, if you fail to self-isolate before you satisfy the above criteria for exit from self-isolation, you may be liable for an offence under Section 21A 1DA. You will receive a recovery memo on day 7 or 14. Alright, so you may collect ART test kits from selected vending machines. Please see Alright, but what if I do not have ART test kit right now and I want to leave home to get it? I can't, right? I'm not supposed to. So it continues to say, if you feel unwell, please consult a telemedicine provider at For medical emergencies, please call 995. Okay, that's the hotline here in Singapore to actually call them for emergencies. If you were issued a stay-at-home or testing notice notice under section hereby is revoked. Okay, that was said already. For more information, visit the website or call that number over there. And then more websites. If you are in other languages, if you are unintended recipient of this message, please delete and do not forward this SMS. For Director of Medical Services. You guys want to know what? After reading this message, right? Yep, I still did my own things and just chill and whatsoever. I just chill at home. Of course, I couldn't leave my home already, and I basically just spent my whole day at home. But on the 6th of April, eventually at night at around 10 p.m., I decided to do the ART test at home. And guess what? This is the result. Yeah, the the test kit is still with me in my hand. Okay, it's not focusing. Okay, yep, you guys can see it's negative, right? Yep. T is the test, C means it's negative, but there are no two lines, so it's just one line. And I actually did two tests. See? This was done at 10 p.m., 10:30 p.m. on the 6th of April. Okay, both of them came back negative. Yep, I can even show you guys a screenshot over here that I took. So eventually, after getting this test negative, I called Ministry of Health again. And I asked them, I said that, hey, because I have been tested positive according to the PCR test, and I received my SMS in the morning. I told them basically the whole entire thing. But I actually did my ART test at night, and it came back negative. And I told them that actually I have a flight to catch the next day on the 7th of April in the morning at 10:15 a.m. And there's actually two options to actually go for a test here in Singapore. For the PCR test, one is you can get the results within 24 hours, or another one within 4 to 6 hours. So I was thinking, wait, what if I actually go to the hospital right now at 10:30 p.m. to actually do the test and take the one that gets the result within 4 to 6 hours? So the lady on the call when I was talking to the Ministry of Health, she actually told me, say that since I've already done my test and it came back negative, yes, she recommends that I can actually go to the hospital to do the PCR test if I want to. So I told her, yeah, I'll try and do that and try to rush for it. And I did. I left home and she gave me the green light to actually leave home to actually go and do the PCR test. And like I said, my house is only 2 minutes walk from the hospital. I went there and I noticed that the testing facility was closed, but I went to the main entrance of the hospital instead, and they told me, say, yeah, okay, they can do the test for me. So when I went to the testing area, alright, the nurse came to me and told me and explained to me that actually it's not ideal for me to actually do the test because there's a very, very high chance that I'll still be tested positive. And I explained to him my situation, like I have a flight to catch later at 10:15 a.m. However, he told me that according to the laboratory who actually does the testing for the PCR results, to get the PCR results, said that they are not accepting anyone who has been tested positive from the PCR test within the next 72 hours to do another retest. So I'm like, okay, sure. If that's the case, then there's no choice really. I basically cannot travel already. And in anyway, I've already cancelled my accommodation. But that's totally fine. I can actually rebook that again or book another accommodation. That's totally fine. So yeah, I went back and then I filed a travel claim for my flight and whatsoever, since I can't travel anymore. But yeah, I managed to file a claim. Thanks to travel insurance, which is really, really important for those of you who intend to travel. It's really, really important to get travel insurance all done up and all prepared if you are intending to travel like that and take a risk for it and don't wish to lose your money. All right. So hopefully that's fine. As for the PCR test or whatsoever, right now I can't do it at all because it's still within the 72 hours, right? I only can do it tomorrow on the 9th of April in the morning after 8:20 a.m. But I probably will do it on the 10th of April in the morning because I've already booked my flights again on the 11th of April at 12:30 p.m. from Singapore to Cebu City. So since I get my results within 24 hours, I'm going to do the test again on the 10th of April in the morning, before the Mudkip Community Day, which starts at 2 p.m. So I probably will do that. But all I gotta say is that it's really, really troublesome in terms of wanting to travel and whatsoever. Right now, I may be shown negative over here under the ART test, but I could still be positive right now because I understand that the ART test kit, they are not as accurate as the PCR test, and they may not pick up the Omicron variant that I totally understand. So hence, I would like to go ahead to do another PCR test like ASAP, but also at the same time be in line with my travel. As like I said, I've already booked my next flight to Cebu City on the 11th of April, and hopefully that's possible. Otherwise, I have to postpone it again, and the cycle repeats itself. I have to refund my flights and cancel everything again, and after that go ahead to book another flight on the 14th of April. I've already checked all the flights. 10th of April I'm not able to fly because it's Mudkip Community Day. I need to work on a video, and also I cannot get my PCR test results on time because the flight time is actually 10:15 in the morning on the 10th of April, whereas on the 11th of April, there were flights at 5 a.m., but eventually it got snagged up already. And 12th of April, there was flight, but I can't make it because it's gonna be a new event, the Spring into Spring event, and also a brand new legendary red balls Tapu Bulu. So hence I'll be very busy on the 12th of April. Whether is it I'm able to go out and go and hunt for Pokemon and also complete the task or not, or whether I'm going to just sit here and do the video for you guys. Whatever the case is, it's going to be very difficult for me to work on two videos at the same time concurrently if I also have a flight to catch also on the same day. So 13th of April, there are no flights to Cebu City at all. 14th of April is the next date that I can fly. And just to let you guys know something also, 14th of April onwards, Philippines is having their Holy Week, and basically it's kind of their holiday season, and my girlfriend has actually taken off from work from the 14th to the 17th, including the 17th of April, so that's why I'm trying to make my way there by the 14th of April. If I can't and I'm still tested positive by I guess the next few testing, which I guess I will have to test again and test again, because I'll be able to do the next testing on the 10, 11, 12, yeah, on the 13th of April again, and then catch my flight on the 14th again. The cycle will repeat itself, like I said again, assuming I test positive on the 11th. Yeah, then yeah, it kind of happens again. I do not know if I can make it on the 14th, but I'll try and make it on the 15th. The prices have been going up for air flight, man. It has doubled. Alright, I've checked on the 14th of April. It has doubled as compared to my supposedly 7th of April flight. So that kind of sucks also. Yeah, so I do not like to book things last minute, but with COVID-19 interrupting with all these things, especially for traveling, things has to be done last minute, and it's really, really bad, I guess. Yeah, you get last minute prices which are usually more expensive and may not even get the flight and may not even get the accommodation that you want. Alright, so that's my experience for getting COVID-19, man. I mean, I'm still gonna have to isolate, like I said, until tomorrow morning, and then tomorrow morning I'm able to leave my home to do whatever I want to, but I'm fine. I'm just letting you know that I'm totally fine. Like, I'm not having any issues with like my health right now or whatsoever. I'm feeling totally fine. I do not have any difficulty breathing. Clearly you guys can see after this video is made like more than 20 minutes already, I'm still fine. Alright, of course I need to drink more water because my throat gets dry after talking for so long. Especially when I'm in the air-conditioned room. But I want to mention one last thing though, that I may have actually contracted the virus way before, the 5th of April, or maybe even during this period itself. We do not know, because I would say that roughly 3 weeks ago, I was actually having severe cough and sore throat, and I was coughing and coughing like crazy. I had phlegm coming out from my throat also, but I had that for roughly 12 days. Yeah, 12 days of like really, really insane coughing, which I've never ever coughed so badly in my life in a very long time. I mean, I had really bad cough in the past also before COVID happened. So I thought maybe it's just another thing again. So I actually did the ART test at home during the period I was coughing like crazy, and it came back negative also. So eventually I didn't bother. I didn't wanted to go and do the PCR test because I didn't PCR test because I didn't need to, as at the point of time I wasn't going to travel at all. But I actually told my friends like Anne and the rest. I told them, said I'm coughing really badly. I'm down with a bit of flu and also sore throat. I told them not to meet me at all. I told them I do not want to meet them at all during the period where I was having all those symptoms. I mean, clearly, like I said, the ART test came back negative, but it may not be accurate. Yeah, I could have actually gone to do a PCR test at a point of time, but like I said, it wasn't necessary for me. I only do the PCR test when I need to travel, because it does cost money. So it costs like 115 Singapore dollars, which is essentially around 80 or 90 United States dollars, which is pretty expensive. But if you want to travel, that's all the things that you have to do to actually make things work. I would really say though that comparing to 2 years ago and now, the amount of money required to travel right now, when you include the PCR test and the risk of certain things happening, definitely adds up a lot. Yeah, a lot. So anyway, that is all that I have to tell you guys about me getting COVID-19. Hopefully you guys understand all this thing that's going on. I'm very sure a lot of you guys would know someone, or maybe you yourself have actually contracted COVID-19. All I gotta say is also to take care of your health, stay safe, stay healthy. If you guys have any issues with your health, definitely contact your local hospital or whatsoever. Yep, don't feel that you get COVID-19 and you shouldn't tell people or whatsoever. In fact, you should be telling people to inform people. Information about certain things, like especially this virus, is very, very important to tell people. So hence why I'm here to tell you guys what's going on. But of course, the last few days I had to settle my stuff and get things sorted out. And yesterday on the 7th of April, I took a day off from shooting videos. Otherwise, I would have made this video yesterday instead and not delay it by a day. But the results wouldn't change anything because I guess I still have to self-isolate yesterday and today and even tomorrow morning. Yeah. Alright, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video of me telling you guys about me. Should I even say that you guys should enjoy this video? I don't even know. But I just want to tell you guys that I wanted to let you guys be more aware about what's going on, especially with my life a bit like this, since it's something really, really important and crucial. And for me to not be able to travel to Philippines and the time wasted to spend here instead of being there with my girlfriend already, that's the thing that sucks the most. To be honest, it's really not about the just the monetary problem, alright, but also the time wise, that's the bigger problem, alright. But if you talk about monetary wise, I don't have a problem. It's just that of course it adds up. But of course, the trouble of going through to actually get everything refunded and whatnot, that's the thing that stresses me out. But I would say though, when I received the message, when I saw that I was tested positive, I wasn't stressed at all. I was like, okay, so here it is. It's finally here. The only thing that I was stressed about is like, oh no, I can't travel. All my plans, everything has been screwed up. I would have preferred to have actually tested positive upon reaching Singapore. Alright, instead of like wanting to travel already and I test positive, if you know what I mean, because I actually stayed in Singapore for 3 weeks before I actually want to travel to Philippines again, right? I would have been happier and not so stressed if I actually tested positive like on the first week of me being in Singapore, and then just wait it out for the next 2 weeks and eventually I can start flying again on the 7th of April. But clearly the virus wanted to visit me and come to me I guess a week or two before I want to start traveling again. Anyway, my friend has already informed me that some of his friends actually did test negative again after 3 to 5 days of testing positive from the PCR test. Of course, I do have friends also told me that they have friends who actually continue to test positive after 6 to 8 weeks or so. Hopefully that doesn't happen to me, but if it does, well, it's something that I will have to manage and work around. But anyway, my flight from Cebu City together with my girlfriend to come back to Singapore has already been booked. We booked that last month and we are flying back from Cebu City on the 28th of April to Singapore. So whatever the case is, I would have to fly there before the 28th of April, even if it's the 27th of April. No, I'm just kidding, obviously not. It's not going to be one day. I probably could even fly there latest by 21st of April. Spend 1 week there with my girlfriend and settle some stuff, because we got some traveling stuff to actually settle, a lot of traveling stuff to settle. So hence why I wanted to be there for 3 weeks, but now that it's cut short by 1 week, I have to just make do with whatever time we have there, assuming I can even go there within the next 2 weeks. I don't know. Alright, so yeah, that is all that I have to talk to you guys about. Hopefully you guys will stay safe, stay healthy. But I'll see you guys in the next episode, in the next video. Whether I'm able to go out or not, it really depends on the PCR results after that. But yeah, I'll still do the ART test before I actually leave my home every day, just to make sure that I'm fine. But hopefully it's accurate enough for me to not, yeah, to trust it. Alright, so goodbye, good. Plans change. Bye!